Are we ready?
Right, you ready? In 5, 4, 3.
If you interrupt again.
Interrupt what?
You always interrupt right when I go talk. Welcome to the Dead Rat.
Action.
Fucking action. Matt. All right.
4, 3.
Welcome to the Dead
Action.
Rat. Matt. It's just,
Okay, for a 5.
it takes a lot
4,
to get in character, man.
3. Serious face. 2. Serious face.
Welcome to the Dead Wrath and Beyond podcast. I am your host, Tara.
I'm Sarah.
Matt.
So we got something a little bit different for you guys tonight. We're going to try something new. What we're going to do is we found a horror story online that we're going to read. And Sarah and I are going to take turns. And by the end of it, we're going to all give our input on the story. And if you guys like this, let us know in the comments. Hopefully we get to do this again. Matt, do you have anything you want to say before we start?
I'm going to be kind of quiet. Those who don't know, I'm not a strong reader. I have crippling ADHD that just makes me jump words and stuff like that. And I make stuff up as I go. So it's best if I don't read.
That could be more entertaining, though.
Good.
Sarah, are you excited?
I'm super excited.
So this is something we've talked about doing for kind of a while. And this is really the first time we've actually been able to sit down and like get it figured out and organized. So I'm pumped.
I'm real excited.
So the story is called I Remember a Horrifying VHS Tape from My Childhood, and I'm hoping to find it again. It's on r/nosleep, and it's by ExitiumElements. So really quick, I want to...
A link will be in the description.
Yeah, absolutely. So I found this because I personally was trying to find a VHS tape when I was a kid, and I was looking all over the internet. And basically at one point, I thought that I didn't read the no sleep at the top. I thought that this was someone else trying to find a VHS tape the way I was. And I was trying to see if they ever figured it out and how they were able to get there. So I'm reading the story, and there was a portion of it where I actually thought this was really happening. It could have been, but I mean, it's Reddit, so...
What was the VHS you were looking for?
So actually, I combined two into one. I thought it was called... I had this VHS tape.
Don't tell me it was Naked Breakfast.
It wasn't this time.
Okay.
That was last time. It was called Halloween, but it was like a documentary. But I had another one called Boogeymen, and it talked about all the different slashers in the 90s.
Oh, that's tight.
But it didn't like have anyone talking or narrating it. It was basically like a section. So you'd have a section where it showed Freddy, and then it showed a scene from one of the movies, and it talked about like what he was, where he came from, why he was a good slasher, and then it would move on to the next one, like Chucky or Wishmaster.
Okay.
Wishmaster, I said that wrong. So for some reason, I was thinking it was called Halloween, and I pictured the Boogeyman like movie, but realistically, the Halloween one was a documentary about Halloween that I completely forgot about. And I found that one, and I rewatched it the other night, and I'm like, oh yeah, I used to love this one too. And it was basically just talking about Halloween in the 90s and like all these different traditions.
Halloween in the 90s was the best time for Halloween.
It was. There was this one guy that was talking about he'd turn his backyard into a haunted house every year.
That's
and they
right.
would do either like an alien invasion or like The Exorcist, and the kids would like trick or treat, would go in the back and watch these scenes happen. And that was kind of like
That's tight.
It was great. So I was able to find both of them. I bought the Boogeyman one. I'm still trying to find the physical VHS copy of the Halloween one. It brought me here. I found this. I read it. And I thought this was such a good story that I wanted to share it with you guys.
Heck yeah.
So with that being said, I guess...
I need to turn off my lock screen so it doesn't lock up on me before I'm like, fuck.
Way to get us in the mood, Sarah.
Sorry.
Should we turn off the lights?
No, because you guys are going to get eye strain.
Yes, Dad.
You know, if you added a DY there, I would be really disturbed there.
Yes, Daddy.
Yes, Donnie.
You got it figured out?
I got it figured out.
Okay. Sarah has her phone balanced on a shadow box and a slipper right now.
Okay, listen. I couldn't lean them against my drinks because I was like, I'm going to need to lubricate my throat, dude. And then I'm going to move one, and then I'm going to make a spill. And then Steven's going to be mad at me.
We have a big tattoo event this weekend, and I'm picturing Sarah spilling her coffee all over all of our flash sheets.
Dude, I'm running away and blocking everybody's number.
She's like, we're not coming back from Seattle.
Yeah, nobody's coming for me, dude.
It's cool. I had just finished a giant painting a while back, like a big painting of like a realistic clipper ship in between two traditional pinup girls. And like right as I had finished it, I was trying to, I think, sign it with a Sharpie, and the Sharpie wasn't working. And Joe was like, here, let me see it really quick. And he took the Sharpie and started shaking it.
And it flung out all across it.
Speckles. It wasn't that bad. I really didn't care, but Joe was devastated.
He said, oh my God, dude, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, he's like, I feel so bad. I'm so sorry. It was really funny. Like, more than anything, I just think the story is good.
It would be funny if you just fake freaked out.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dog?
I punched him.
Go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom and act like you're
take
crying.
the joke way too far.
And he's got a bloody nose and he's crying. And I'm like, dude, I'm just kidding.
I'm just fucking with you.
You should be like, I gotta go, and then like go to the bathroom and like.
You're just like throwing up. You're that dramatic about it. Like,
I'm
so sad.
Are you scared? You should be. You're on scare tactics.
Stop.
Oh God.
Are you guys ready to get started?
I'm ready.
Sorry,
Let's
if
do
we don't
it.
cut it off now, we're gonna go off on a long tangent.
Yes, we need to get this rolling.
Yeah.
So, are you starting or am I starting?
Pick a number.
9.
Odd or even.
Odd.
I know I told you to pick a number. Too damn bad. You said odd. Sarah goes first.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Tight.
So again, this story is called I Remember a Horrifying VHS Tape from My Childhood, and I'm Hoping to Find It Again by ExitiumElements. And this was uploaded 7 years ago. Oh, I thought this was recent. Oh, so this has been around for a minute.
This had better not end with the guy finding like a Ron Jeremy porno or something like that.
Tight. I wouldn't be mad.
You never know.
All right. Are we ready now?
Yep, go ahead.
I don't like horror movies. In fact, I don't like anything horror. The sensation of being scared doesn't appeal to me. If I had to elaborate on why, and I typically did as a teenager when friends wanted to watch scary movies, I would say I saw enough as a kid and now they bore me. Except that wasn't entirely true. The truth was there was a VHS that contained a strange mixture of cartoons and live action scenes that I watched at my grandma's house as a kid. And they horrified me. If I had to guess on the release date of the footage, I would have to say sometime from the 1920s to the 1930s. I would sometimes ask friends if they knew what I was talking about, and I would receive a glimmer of recognition and understanding in response. Who hasn't seen a creepy old black and white cartoon after all?
Dude, for real though, the old cartoons from like the 20s and 30s,
They're scary.
they're just really disproportionate and odd.
I love them.
The
They're
old
tight.
Betty Boop ones.
People use them in their music videos all the time. I'm like, that's sick.
That's true. The ghost with the long legs. Mm-hmm. But when I continued to explain what I remembered from that old VHS tape, the recognition would slowly disappear from their face. Even while I described it, I knew it didn't make much sense. An egg-shaped man walking down the road with his arms waving all around the sky. A swan whose neck always sways back and forth to the music in the background. Then, intermittent flashes of terrifying live-action footage. The audio consisted of mostly music with heavy static, except for that one moment with a screaming man. It was nonsensical and similar to describing a dream that has all the importance to you but little meaning to anyone else. People would shrug their shoulders and say they don't recall anything strange like that. Oh, was it Roger Rabbit? No, this was not Roger Rabbit.
Regardless, I loved visiting my grandma when I was a kid. My mom would drop me off on Saturday and come back for me Sunday, giving me and grandma all weekend to do the fun things together. She had a garden in the backyard where she grew a lot of different fruits and vegetables, so a fair amount of our Saturday morning was spent there. If my mom tried to get me to eat a tomato at home, I would balk, but my grandma's tomatoes were delicious. When fresh off the vine, even a 6-year-old boy would know the quality when he tasted it. Then,
Sorry.
wait,
Keep
you're
it together,
You're
Sarah.
Right. Sorry, my bad. Go. I was so into it.
All right.
Then there were the mall trips, which were too exciting for a sugar-loving kid like myself. We'd go to one of those colorful candy shops where she'd buy me a small bag of gummy worms. Then it was to the clothes store, which always made me groan and try to convince her I could never again... I can't read. And try to convince her that I never again needed a new wearable piece of fabric. But I had to go through the motions of trying on a pair of shorts here and a set of pajamas there. As the sun set, we would back into her house. My grandma always had to go to bed early, and to keep me entertained, she would direct me to the comfy floral couch and turn on the tube TV that was on top of a tall stand. She'd go to the bookcase where she kept her VHS tapes and chose the tape that was specifically for me. This was the one with the strange footage that she always showed me. Really quick, I love how this person describes everything. Like, I'm getting such a good visual in my brain. I'm almost picturing my grandma's house.
Hell yeah. Even the tomato part, I was like, oh man, my grandma used to have tomato plants. So I was like, oh, I remember eating my grandma's tomatoes. And they were bomb.
I feel like tomatoes and roses are in the grandma handbook, personally.
Absolutely.
My grandma didn't have roses. My grandma had strawberries, pears. I think she did have tomatoes, but there was like one plant just to keep my grandpa happy.
Those tomatoes, though, fresh off the vine.
I couldn't eat that shit.
So
I don't
fresh.
like tomatoes.
Matt was a picky bitch.
Yeah,
Kyle
I
doesn't
was.
either. He's like, I'll throw up. I'm like,
I'll fucking
okay.
gag on that shit.
All right.
Did your grandma have a floral couch?
No.
Oh,
Leather.
okay.
They were fancy.
My grandma had a cloth floral print couch.
The texture, the rough texture.
Yes, dude, absolutely.
That's why I like this story. It's just so good at describing the setting. Okay, so Sarah, you're as a child.
As a child, you tend to go with the flow. I shake my head looking back at how accepting I was when she would put on the TV. Oh, wait. When she would put the TV on and stick the VHS in the VCR. She'd pat me on the head and say she's going to bed. I nodded and braced myself while she also hoping that magically this time something else would be on that TV. She'd press play and then would leave for her bedroom. The TV flickered in an unusual way and the title card appeared, but I couldn't read the words at that age. The old sounding music kicks in and the egg-shaped man comes strolling down the white road, waving his spaghetti arms around. His mouth is in an O shape and his arms reach so high up it goes past the top of the screen. In front of him walks the swan with the neck that looks uncomfortable when it bobs and bends to the music, which almost like pure static with some trumpet.
I was always mesmerized by this scene. The flowing animation and the bad audio, something about it made you keep watching. Then the cartoon cuts out and a real human skull fills up the TV screen. This is the point I would jump out of my seat no matter how ready I was for it. The gaping eye sockets and the jaws that, like all human skulls, had a terrible expression that looked like an excited smile.
The camera would
Wait, you're fine. You can read.
No, go, girl.
We'll just skip my turn. It doesn't matter.
No, go, girl.
The camera would pan out and slowly reveal the rest of the skeleton. Oh, I did read 2 paragraphs. Did I?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Sarah. You read.
No, that's okay. The camera would pan out and slowly reveal the rest of the skeleton. There's no music now, and the only audio and the sound of static popping noises. The video starts to zoom in and out, and you see the entire skeletal frame on the screen. I was positive the skeleton would jump up or try to talk. It looked so alive with its jaw partially agape. At this point, I would grab my legs and look over my knees. When you're a kid, basic things seem out of reach. The entire house had its lights turned off, and getting up would mean walking into the depth of the darkness. There was no light near me, and even the thought of turning the TV off was terrifying. As though it upset some system in something. What? I'm so sorry.
As though I'd upset some system in something.
As though I'd upset some system in something, or someone would be angry. Plus, I don't even think I could if I tried with how high up it was on the TV stand.
The street. Frick. I'm just going to bark every time you mess it up.
I have a DMX video in here.
The screen goes back to the cartoon. The broken neck goose and the egg-shaped man still waving his arms around, with the poor audio recording and with the poor audio recording of the horns. At this point, a dancing bow-legged skeleton appears. They move around the dimensionless white space. The nonsensical dancing goes on for minutes before the music stops, and all you can hear is the static popping sound again. All the characters look at the viewer, as though to make sure you were still watching. Isn't that so creepy? Just you're watching already a scary movie, and all the characters just stare at you.
I don't like that.
A deformed face appears.
No longer a cartoon again, the face lips were curled back and it was groaning on the screen. Looking back, I wonder if it was a stick man. As a child, I saw it as a zombie, its skin all decaying and missing in areas around his eyes and cheeks.
They spelled it wrong.
The camera slowly zooms out and shows that it's walking towards the camera, groaning and stumbling. Now my knees are tight against my chest and tears are making their way down my cheeks. I imagine the zombie grabbing me and rubbing its face against me. It will kill me this way, and it takes some horrible and dark far away from everyone I know.
So this poor, like, probably 4-year-old child, like, when I first read this, I was thinking the first part of this cartoon is harmless, you know? Well, it's harmless. So if she's put it on for a couple seconds and her routine is to just go to bed after that, she's not seeing all the creepy stuff happen.
This kid's like, I fucking hate this movie.
But he's so small, he doesn't know how to vocalize that.
I know,
you know?
it's sad.
He's crying.
It's like he's watching the
My
Sinister
eyes started
videos
to
or something.
burn
Oh,
when
okay.
I was reading, and I was like, oh my God.
What, Matt?
It's like he's watching the Sinister videos or something like that.
Essentially.
It starts off all nice, and all of a sudden it's just like,
Shit.
here comes the lawnmower to mommy's face.
And the poor kid. He can't even read the title cards because he's so young.
It's so sad.
The zombie disappears and it's back to the cartoon. A mummy has joined in on the meaningless movements. The swan continues to sway. The egg-shaped man waves his arms. The bow-legged skeleton dances. And the mummy begins to unwrap itself. The latter rocks back and forth while taking the bandages from around its midsection to its neck. I felt like they could see me. I was positive their pupils were watching me and making sure I was paying attention so that I'd witness the next live-action interlude. The screaming man.
He's covered in blood and yelling, no, please, no, while something off the screen hits him. The camera's too close to his face to make out what is actually happening, and his scream sounds like a primal guttural sound that I've never heard from any other human. I would rock and sob freely at this point. I'd think of what I'd give to not have to watch this. I would give my favorite action figure to have Grandma wake up and interrupt this. Even if only to use the bathroom, so that a light could be turned on. Anything to break up the images on the screen.
The cartoon would come back and all of the characters are gone. Are gonna save the mummy? There's a couple of typos in here and it's messing with me. Okay. The cartoon would come back and all the characters are gonna save the mummy. He's hanging from a noose at the top of the screen made with his own bandages. He sways slightly and a title card comes on that reads, The End. After laying in the subtle light of the television static, I would eventually fall asleep on the couch. The next morning, my grandma would always ask me why I didn't make it to the guest bedroom. I'd say I fell asleep watching TV, but in actuality, I was too terrified to make the impossibly long nighttime trek to the bedroom. So essentially, I feel like this kid's watching a snuff film.
Yes.
Like the part where the person's getting beat and the mixture of 1920s. Like, is it like an old-fashioned snuff film? Is it like something that they made to look old-fashioned?
The mummy hanging from his own bandages. Yeah. Like, stop.
It's a really cool visual.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you watching at that age? That's scary.
But it's such a real statement. The incredibly, the incredibly long nighttime trek to the bedroom. Like, even going to the bathroom as a little kid when you are scared is terrifyingly long.
My mom had this long ass hallway growing up. It was so long and it was so dark that
How long was it?
So long that I would hold my piss until I couldn't. And when I did, I'd flush the toilet and fucking run down the hallway and jump in my bed because I'm like, no, I'm scared. Dude.
I just pictured little Sarah like as a sprinter, just
and I thought it was just me, but it's like my brothers were also like, nah, fuck that hallway.
The hallway is destined
yeah,
for the ghosts.
No, this is sketchy.
It's a real thing. You turn into an Olympic sprinter in those moments.
You absolutely do. I'm panicked.
So are you reading? Where are we?
Sundays, right?
Okay, yeah.
Sundays were spent around the house. She'd give me crayons and I'd show her what I drew. Mostly houses and stick figures of people with the occasional shark. While relaxing like this at the kitchen table, my mom would pick me up and back home we would go. I went there about once a month, and every time I went, it seemed like a brand new excursion. I wouldn't think about the cartoon until she was ready to retire for the night.
On one of the days when my mom went to come get me, her and Grandma ended up in the bedroom arguing. They kept it fairly quiet, so I couldn't make out what they were saying from the kitchen. I lazily drew some fish around my shark when my mom came out in a huff and told me to say goodbye. I gave my grandma a hug and we got in the car and drove home. Like most kids, I didn't keep track of familial visits, and it took a while before I realized I hadn't seen my grandma in years. Oh, so they got into a fight. When I was a few years older, I asked my mom if she still talks to her. She looked up from the Better Homes and Gardens issue she was reading. Grandma has a lot of things going on in her life, and visits are hard for her.
I could tell she did not want to talk about it. I vaguely missed her, but at the same time, it was easy to accept the reasoning that she was too busy for visits. 9-year-olds will believe most explanations. It wasn't until I was 36 that I went back there again. My grandma had died from a stroke, and I received word from my mom that I could take a walk through of the house to see if there was anything I wanted.
I couldn't believe I would see the inside of that house again. Even as an adult, I still remember those cartoons, but not as vividly. They seemed more like memories from a dream. Maybe I could find this strange VHS and see it through an adult's eyes. The thought made me oddly excited, regardless of the chill that went through my body. Even seeing that couch again would be unreal. I went there with the copied key my mom had given me and walked through the front door. Immediately, the smell of the house sent me back to all those years of picking tomatoes and drawing with crayons. I remembered the house being so large, but now it seemed cramped and small. I made my way through the kitchen and stopped for a moment to look at the round table and reminisce those lazy Sundays.
I then went to the living room and sat down on the couch. No HD TV. The tube TV was still here. Being in this house again with the same furniture was surreal. How could so little change? I went to the bookshelf to try to find that tape. Above the row of a vintage hardcover encyclopedia set was a row of VHS tapes. I looked through it and found some old classics like Gone with the Wind, but couldn't find a tape that matched what I was looking for. I made sure it wasn't hidden behind any of the other tapes or books before I moved on to Grandma's bedroom. Why I thought it might be in there, I'm not sure, but I didn't want to think it was missing. I searched through the closet and some drawers. I looked under the bed, but it was just shoe boxes filled with old letters and cards. I sat on the edge of the bed and scanned around the room. I saw something that only an old lady would have, a makeup table and chair set. I sat down in it and looked through the drawers and the table, some half used and new makeup, but no tape.
I continued to sit there and started reconciling the fact that I wouldn't find it when my shoulder rubbed against a picture frame with pressed flowers on the wall. It was a strange place to have a picture considering it was only 4 feet above the floor. I picked it up to look at it closer, and that's when I noticed behind it were 2 small holes in the wall. A faint light was coming out of them. It looked like someone took a long electrical screwdriver and stuck it through twice. I looked through the 2 holes and I'm getting goosebumps right now.
Yes, stop.
I looked through the 2 holes and in perfect view was the floral 3-cushion couch where I used to watch that horrifying cartoon. I sat back in the chair and thought for a moment. It's possible these holes would be seen on the other side if you were looking, but the flowery wallpaper surely camouflaged them well. I looked through the holes again and saw the couch and television awash in the morning light rays. Very different now from how I experienced it.
Staring at this scene, a realization swept over me. I began to feel very cold and didn't want to consider the idea anymore. I looked at the picture frame I had taken down, pressed red carnations arranged in a flattened bouquet. I placed the frame down on the floor beside me. I leaned over and put my head down into my folded arms on the makeup table. I wanted to stop my train of thought. I wanted to stop my train of thought, but I couldn't. No matter how hard I tried, the terrible images kept making their way to me.
All I could see was a scared little boy sitting on that couch. He was wet from his own tears and hugging his knees to his chest. He was desperately hoping for a grandma to come rescue him. But deep down, he knew she never would.
Dude!
The idea that you're terrified and grandma's just in her room getting her rocks off on this little child watching a snuff film.
That's fucked up, dude. I bet grandma, what the fuck?
Matt, what are your thoughts?
Is that it?
That's it.
There's not more? Like he doesn't find the fucking tape?
No, it's just showing that
Matt. Grandma was a fucking psychopath, dude.
That's creepy.
Keeping Tom.
Like,
Matt doesn't read as much as we do. So, yeah, it left us on that, like, you kind of have to let your imagination take over. But essentially it was implying that she was in the bedroom, like...
jamming her clam to her grandson, like...
I don't know if it was even that. I kind of got more that she was, like...
She's like,
like, she was trying to traumatize him, you know? I don't know if, like... I kind of pictured it as almost like a cult thing, you know? And maybe, like, the mom knew.
And she's like, you fucking psycho bitch.
Yeah.
Like, we're not doing this.
Like,
You're
she figured it
no.
out. I wonder if, like, maybe the mom, it happened to her when she was younger, but maybe she had suppressed it and something, like, and she saw the tape or something and was like, oh, all these memories are coming back.
Saw his actions, like, and was like, what's happening?
That's true. And then she could be like, hey, I noticed that
she said,
my son is doing this. Like, what, are you doing this thing?
When I saw
He's
that
drawing
there was,
sharks now.
When I saw there was 2 holes and he said, and there was 2 holes in the wall, I said, get the fuck out of here right now. I said, I'm so scared for this little boy. That is so fucked up.
That's why I like this story, because it's not like monsters and made up stuff. It's a very real situation. You know, the grandma's just messed up in the head.
Yeah.
It's
totally believable.
It's interesting too, because I feel like a lot of stories kind of approach it in terms of like men are a little bit more capable of stuff like that. So the fact that it's his grandma, someone that's supposed to watch over him and be more protective than just any old person, is very betraying.
Yeah, dude, that's fucked up. To find out at 36 too, to be like, oh, my whole life and I had no idea my grandma was a fucking weirdo.
But yeah, I thought this was real when I was reading this.
Honestly, it could be.
Well,
I could understand why.
A lot of people read the Reddit stories as them being real, and some of them are real, you know?
Yes.
But I mean, a lot of them are just really creative writers. This is a fantastic story. I like it. I like that they aren't giving too much information, and it's very to the point, you know?
Yes.
It was pretty good. I just, what you call it, the cliffhanger, I was just like, I was slowly
So
starting
that's
to,
it?
I was finally getting into it a little bit, and I'm like, oh,
wish there was a
no
part
tape, no truth, no mom's not gonna tell you what happened.
I'll find a more cut and dry story next time, Matt.
Sorry.
He said, I don't
It's
like
okay.
I'm not trying to piss on it or anything like that.
No, you said
was,
you liked it. That made me happy.
I was starting to like, oh, no, oh.
So I'm gonna be honest. Matt is probably gonna be the biggest critic for us with these stories. So if Matt doesn't like it, I feel like I failed. So if we got a little bit of like Matt's invested, I feel good.
It stinks.
He said, I hate it.
It was all right.
Well, if you guys like this, let us know, and also like let us know your take on this story.
If you want to, feel free to drop a link in a comment if there's a story you want us to read.
Yeah, actually, we're thinking about reading maybe like a scary Christmas story, because Christmas is going to be right around the corner.
But stay away from Krampus, please.
Yeah.
Ja.
No
Yes.
Krampus.
No, thank you.
We're trying to stay away from Krampus this season. We feel like he's a little overdone sometimes.
He gives us the Krampus.
Yes.
Thank you guys for doing this episode. This is something I've been wanting to do for a long
Hell
time.
yeah. I was excited. That was fun for me.
Should we do a
Had
slightly
fun.
longer story next time? I thought this was going to be longer.
We did a long while.
Okay, we'll do
Yes.
slightly longer. I'll do like a comparison. So, but yeah, thank you guys for listening again. We appreciate you, and
Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And
stay spooky.
Have a good night.
have a good night.
Keep it
Happy
real.
Halloween.
Good night.